Hello class, my name is Terrence Jones. Thank you for checking in today. My presentation today will be over Hope Farm. Now, the word wall behind me that I created just to help us follow along. I know it's hard to see, so I'll add it to the screen. I've introduced myself. Now let's go over the overview of the agency. The agency that I'll be talking to you today about is Hope Farm. Hope Farm is a long-term leadership program that guides at-risk boys without the benefit of a positive male role model to be men of integrity through Christ. Now, what that means is these boys do not have fathers or have fathers, but that do not live in the home with them. They can become part of this program when they're 5 to 7, and they can stay within this program until they're either in high school or beyond that. They can stay within this program until they're in college. Now, there's someone I'm going to be talking about later on down this presentation, Mr. Felix Stiggers, who was in this program when he was 5 and stayed within this program and came back after he graduated from college and still is the program director now. Now, a little bit more history about Hope Farm. It started with Gary Randall and Noble Crawford. Gary Randall was a Fort Worth PD for the juvenile investigations when he retired. Noble Crawford was a U.S. Air Force veteran and an inspector for the criminal public safety. Now, they started in 1989 with one child, one person, in Morningside Elementary School. From there, they decided to grow and become more for the community. They saw that this was a very big need because they worked within the criminal justice system, and they saw that most of the people who were in the prison system did not have fathers. And so they saw a need within the community, and so they wanted to provide something to help that, to combat this. And so what they did was they went out into the community, Morningside community, and looked for a place that they can get, a place to just have people come. And so they found this building. It was a crack house. It was worn down, broken. It was one building. They decided to purchase that building and remodel it and build it up to what it is today. They started with one building with 12 kids. From there, they have grown to over 4 buildings and a gym. And they take up an entire block. Starting in 1997 at the Morningside location with 12 boys, now they have the Como Center, which is 2010, and now they just opened up a center in Dallas, 2019. Now, behind me, as I'll show you, they stand for 4 things. They call it the 4 pillars: wisdom, stature, discipline, and friendship, each followed by a Bible, a book of the Bible, a scripture, if you will. Within these 4 pillars comes rules and regulations that they follow at Hope Farm, and they try to keep them going so that they can build up these young men so that they can be leaders within the community. They try to target the spirit through Bible study. They try to target the mind using resources to help them on computers, through studying, and trying to get people in there for STEM programs and things like that. Like they had a bicycle workshop, and then they try to work with the body because every day they provide 2 meals when they get there and when they're about to leave. And they also do deliveries for families if you need the food. They also have a mom's resource program, which is really great because it's a partnership not only with the child, but with the mother as well. So the mother can decide, yes, I want my child to be in the program. For that to work though, she has to be a part of the program as well. This is how they get a better result. Because what they do is they get the mother involved and the child's benefit, and they get the child involved, and then Hope Farm steps in and combines those two so that she can be better off and they can be better off. I think this is a wonderful idea because they reach into not only the child's life, but they reach into the mother's life and try to help her overcome any kind of obstacles or find some things to get her to where she needs to be today. When I first arrived there, that's the first thing they told me. That's the first thing they showed me was that they help the mothers so that the mother can help her child. Now to move on to my experiences within Hope Farm. When I first arrived and had the talks about wanting to intern, it was with Mr. Felix Steers, who I've already said was in the program at a very young age, moved his way up, went to college, graduated from college, came back to the program, and became the program director. And he's also an alpha. But more to that, when I first was in the talks with him about wanting to intern at Hope Farm, the interview process was basically a meet and greet. I walked through the buildings to see the outlaying of the buildings, of the entire complex, and then I met with everybody. The first person I met was Dr. Tanya Lincoln. Now, she was so excited to meet me and asked me a bunch of questions. And then whenever she was done asking me questions, she was already looking for other opportunities for me to see who I can grow, to see how I can grow, to see who to work under. She moved me from Mr. Felix Stiggers to Manasseh, to Mr. Manasseh. We call him Mr. M. Mr. Felix, we call him Mr. S. They call me Mr. T. The kids do. Now, I was going to work under Mr. Manasseh, who was also a assistant program director. I was going to be the assistant program intern, working with them to find programs that the children can interact with on like Fridays, which is usually our free day. Monday through Thursday, we have Bible study and encouragements, so where we can teach them like how to tie a tie, how to dress, skills that I learned through my time in criminal justice. So like we can teach them what do you do when a cop approaches you, or how to tie your shoes. I mean, the possibilities are endless of what we can actually teach them. From that, and then usually on Fridays is when like we just like gym time, or we usually bring in somebody to talk to the children. And so moving forward, that was my first introduction into Hope Farm, was with Dr. Tanya and talking to everybody and just seeing how everybody was so connected and such a family. It was really exciting because I was getting the impression that it was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. But when I first got there, I saw that there was a lot more that goes into running a nonprofit than what I originally thought, because I definitely did not think that. And so, as I said, my job was the assistant program intern. I ended up getting my own classroom, which I loved. It was a very big classroom. I worked with 3rd through 5th graders. So I had 2 classes. I was usually in the gym around 2 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. And we would just play basketball. Me and the other faculty there, we would just play basketball. My shots really got good. I really got great at shooting the hoop, if you will. Other than that, the kids usually arrive around 3 o'clock. Around 3:30, I'm in the gym with all the other students. They've already got their snack. They put up their backpacks in the locker room. They each have their own locker rooms. They each have their own water bottles. So I'm in the gym from 3:30 to like 4:20. Around 4:30, I'm in my classroom with my students to start teaching Bible study. And in Bible study, we would go over drills, look up scriptures, and just go over what the Word is telling us to go over. But usually there was not a set thing, so I had to come up with my own curriculum. Usually I did that on Saturdays or Sundays for the week. And we would just go over one book of the Bible, not even just one book, like one passageway, talking about, breaking it down, so that the kids can get a better grasp of what it's talking about. And we would just do that Monday to Thursday, because Friday was the free day, so I didn't want to do anything on their Friday. When I first got there, it was difficult because I was not the I was not the like authoritative type to where like I'm telling them to you sit down, be quiet, do this, do that. I was not like that, and the kids saw that, and I will say they took it and ran with it. I It was hard getting them under control, especially because I did not know them that well. They saw me as a new guy who was taking over somebody else, and so when I went out and finally talked to the faculty, just like trying to get some help about how do I get control of the classroom, because I really didn't know what to do. This was my first time actually in charge of say 5 to 7 kids at a time. Um, they gave me some pointers. They were like, you have to let them know who you are. You, not you. God has given you the authority to mentor them to become men in this community that will be leaders. And so you have to let them know that you're there to help them. And whenever I figured that out, and whenever I started learning, like, oh, if I come in with a lesson already planned, then I know what I need to talk about. I can definitely help them. And so whenever I started learning names and started going over that, and yes, it was hard at first. It was definitely hard at first. But the joy of when they learned of scripture, the joy of when they learned the books of the Bible, because we would do Bible drills, which are, I would name a Bible, a book of the Bible, and they would have to find it. And the first person to find it would get points. And these points could be used to purchase like chips and stuff like that, little things like that. And when, at the beginning, when I first arrived, they told me this young man's name, his name is Sergeant. He didn't know any books of the Bible. And whenever I started introducing points into it, we discussed the books of the Bible, and we started playing this game. And at the end of the day, he was able to get the first 10 books of the Bible. Yes, it took 2, maybe 3 weeks to get it, but he did it. And when he was able to do it, and he was able to tell all the faculty that he was able to do it, because he did. He told everybody that he was able to do it. It was like, this is why I'm here. And so that feeling of helping them was very big on my heart, because I loved it. That's when I fell in love with this job. I fell in love with the work that I was doing there. As of right now, we're still calling our kids because of this quarantine. We're still reaching out. They're still prepping meals and delivering meals to the children. We have do-it-yourself projects. I have 2 kids that I'm in charge of talking to weekly. It's great. I wish that I could see the boys. Other than that, things have been going smoothly. But moving forward, I definitely recommend that everybody takes their time, especially if you have time in college, to go visit. Even after college, I definitely recommend you go visit. They have this thing where they say if you visit the campus, you'll fall in love with the campus. You'll fall in love with the children. You'll fall in love with the faculty. And that has been the most truthful statement I've ever heard. Because once you walk through those gates and you meet the children, you're like, oh wow, this is God. This is God. God has His hands on this program. And so that's kind of what I want everybody else to get. I would definitely recommend you intern with Hope Farm. I definitely recommend you go visit if you have not visited it, because they will love to have you. They need all the help they can get. They service over 200 kids at any given time. So I guess that's my one takeaway from this whole presentation is I love what I did. I loved it. You go take the time and go visit after the quarantine, because right now they're not on campus except to get the meals ready. You go visit the campus, the Como Center, the Morningside Center, or the Dallas one if that's closer to you, and see what they do. And I promise you, you'll fall in love with it. Thank you.